Welcome to the road to Hollywood. That is, of course, Macklemore and Ryan Lewis with Thrift Shop. Absolutely the number one song in the country, soon to be number one worldwide. No record deal, no record label. Incredible independent story. It keeps happening. Mumford & Sons just won Album of the Year at the Grammys. 5 years in a row, the independents have killed the majors. And again, I don't look at it as a competition. It just so happens you don't need a major deal. You don't need a major conglomerate behind you. It's happening time and time again. We got a lot to celebrate. Not only all this, but news on IES, a lot of stuff coming up. First of all, I want to welcome again our co-host, a real integral part of the IES and Road to Hollywood and everything that's happening. Industry-wise, it is Scott Page, a legendary musician and new media guru. Welcome to the show.
I can hear the crowd screaming. Can you hear it? Thank you very much, Jay. I'm happy to be here, brother.
Just like those billion-dollar crowds in Europe for Floyd. We love it. And again, we have a special guest in the studio. Yep. He's an amazing executive entrepreneur. He's making things happen, also plugging into IES in a big way. His name is Kevin Hellon, and he is the CEO, president of Offstream Entertainment. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming down. We love that energy. It's in this business after a number of years, you pretty much instantly know in the first few seconds, if this person really has it and we're going to do something. And Kevin definitely has it. So we're excited to plant seeds and, grow some incredible stuff for you, the viewer. We thank you so much for tuning in. Nonstop, incredible knowledge, talk about the industry. We're going to go deep. We got some very special interviews and stuff coming up. So,
and don't forget to give a big shout out to those folks in Holland.
Well, yeah,
Remember,
we love your international viewership. So please, Europe, Asia, Australia. Wherever. We heard from one of our guys from New Zealand who not only was at IES last year, but he has a whole group of artists coming over. He's doing a massive campaign now to let all especially the urban artists know in Australia and New Zealand that if you're not at IES, you're missing big-time career opportunities. So we're excited for that. Again, iesfest.com will be the website to go to. Again, what we're talking about tonight is kind of state of the industry. And right now, more than ever, just like we say with Macklemore and of course, with Mac Miller and, his show premieres this week on MTV, all the indies that are just killing it, Mumford & Sons and all this. Kevin, why don't you tell us a little bit, give us a synopsis of how you got in the industry and how you've gravitated to this space, music and entertainment today.
Oh, man. I've always loved music, loved entertainment, loved the business of it. I originally started an internet technology company up in Northern California, probably around 1999, and built it out very well. I ended up purchasing a few companies, merging with a few, building out a really strong content management platform, and ended up selling the company. Took it from nothing to about 25 employees. We did major projects, large corporations. I actually worked with the Grammys, worked with Godfather, Soul James Brown. So along that way, had just a true passion for music, So I was a guy that had all the music business books in my office, even though I was building an internet technology company. And after I sold the company, I went away for a little bit, kicked back in San Diego for a little bit, and kind of got my bearings and wanted to venture out in LA and really build my entertainment company. And so far, so good. It's been excellent. Been working with some amazing record labels, some amazing artists, opened up my relationships a lot, and just doing a lot, in the entertainment field, from film, TV, and music.
Well, that's exciting to hear. I mean, these days, whether you come from technology or come from the creative side, there's really no more rules. As long as you can come together and you've got a great product or service or an event, as long as you can reach the people and really give them what they want, it's the most exciting time to be independent. Right. Scott, what do you think these days some of the most important areas in technology that really intersect with this independent entertainment are?
Oh, well, I mean, you can just look at technology, what it's done when you've looked at people don't realize that they look at Twitter and they say, okay, it's great, nice little technology. But in reality, that technology is probably in some ways almost as powerful as printing press.
Yeah.
Look what it's been able to do. It's been able to basically take down governments. It's control. So what's happened is the information and the communications now is not in the hands of just a few, but it's in the hands of many. Through that now, the world has changed where you can build your own community, and owning that community is really where the rubber meets the road. So the rule is, if you own the community, you win, because that community can get around. You can build those relationships, drive revenue. So there's like so many things that are going on now. There's all this rapid development of tools and things that are coming on that allow connectivity and communications at a different rapid rate. And for the artist, this is it. This is like, remember, this is how the politicians used to go door to door and shake hands. Mm-hmm. You can now do that from these little tiny devices that we carry around every day. I mean, the world has changed. I mean, you can run your business. You got commerce on these platforms. You got communications. You got video. You got pictures. You have everything at your hands. The key is now having it is learning how to use it so that it actually turns into a monetization engine. Right. Because there's people that are using it today, and we had this conversation the other day. It's great. Yeah, I got 10 million followers. Well, how much money are you making off of it? Zero. Yeah. I'm not making any money off that. I can get a few people because they're not knowing how to nurture. The artist is having a hard time figuring out how to move that engagement cycle through the funnel from a prospect all the way through into making money. And so there's a lot of great new technologies that are coming out, especially in the ways of really kind of measuring, your online presence, managing it, making sure what's online is accurate and important. I can't tell you. I try to tell artists it's really critical to manage and take care of your online presence. It's a very critical thing. You don't want to let that get out of hand, because what goes on the internet stays on the internet, and it can be painful. We've seen it in a lot of places. So it's really critical that artists start learning how these technologies really are the engagement engine and how to really kind of build your brand using them.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Kevin, what do you think? Like I say, are some of the most exciting opportunities right now, as the internet and technology and creativity merge?
I mean, a lot of what Scott was saying was, along the lines that I think, technology and entertainment are going hand in hand these days. Twitter, Facebook, all of the digital technology that we have out here today, I think is great, and it is leveling the playing field for a lot of independent artists where they don't have the financial backing or the connections that they might have when getting out here, but being able to use technology to their advantage is definitely leveling the playing field for them. But, like you're saying, it's really important that they learn how to monetize what they're doing. I deal with clients all the time where they have a huge fan base, but they're broke, and have no clue on how to do it. So we step in and explain to them how to monetize a video. Don't just drop it on YouTube and walk away. Don't just think that that's going to be the platform that's going to get you guys out there. There's a lot you could do. There's ad networks that'll partner up with you that you don't have to use YouTube. There's advertisers. If you've already created your base, they'll do a direct deal with you. There's people that are making six figures, a year just monetizing their video environments. So it doesn't make any sense to go out here and build your base up and just to go to your friends and say, yeah, I got I got 1 million people hitting my YouTube page and but how many checks are you getting? I don't have any really money, but YouTube says they're going to do a partnership program with me, but I have to wait till I get a certain amount. So, but take that same hustle and create a business model behind it, and take technology and go get out here and connect with some ad networks and get out here and connect with some advertising sponsorships, or even consultants like us that are more than happy to step in and say, look, this is exactly what you need to do to make money, with your base.
Yep. Nice. Yeah. It's one of the things that I find fascinating is the fact that a lot of these artists, as they start building these fan bases, they actually go out and buy fans.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
Well, everybody's looking for a shortcut.
They want to, but all those things like, get 10 million fans, over the weekend for $10 or something. They don't realize that that's actually going to hurt them. For a while there, it was like, okay, no, people didn't understand that game. But having a bunch of people that don't really care about what you're doing or aren't really connected to what you're doing, you're much better off. I mean, all the great marketers online, the guys that are not necessarily in the independent music area or entertainment, they're they make a big deal about the fact these fans are people that really care about what I'm doing. I would much rather have 1,000 really strong fans than 5 million fans that don't care.
Well, the labels did that a lot too. I mean, you know, it was a big onslaught of record labels and PR people getting out here saying, you know, you get your social media numbers up. So, I mean, that's going to open up opportunities for the hustlers. We're going to say, well, hold on, okay, if I need to get, you know, 10 million views on my YouTube page, let me go ahead and pay somebody that can just give me a bunch of fake fans. And so now the labels are they're backtracking and saying, okay, well, now we need you to have a certain level of fan engagement. That's their new word.
Engagement.
You know, what's your fan engagement? We're going to look at your comments page and see, you know, are people actually talking to you back and forth? Are you engaging with them? Then we're going to judge by that. We don't care if you have 10 million views anymore. It's about your fan engagement.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so I mean, but I think at the end of the day, I mean, artists have to go back to where it originally started from. You know, you want to connect with your fans. You know, whether it's social media platforms, whether it's events, talking to them, you know, face to face. You got to have a level of connection with your fans, and that's what they did back in the day. They kept everybody so loyal to them.
Yeah, and that's why one of the things that people think, just having a lot of fans, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, all those things, it's been proven now through the marketers that are out there that are really killing. It's the email list.
Yeah,
it's a different engagement with email, totally different.
More personal.
Because remember, that's an opt-in thing. It's like, follow me. Okay, I can just hit a follow me button. Boy, that's great. Look, I got all these followers. But somebody that will actually give you an email address and create that relationship is a different thing. You have a different conversation there.
Yeah.
So I tell everybody clearly 2 things that are really important. Have your own platform. Own your domain. Don't live on top of Facebook and Twitter. Own your own domain. Make sure you're managing all that data, and that's your data, your information, and build that list. Set up your email autoresponders and all that stuff, and really set up a platform that allows you to start beginning to build that engagement cycle.
Yeah, very true.
Well, it's exciting stuff these days, and we're just tip of the iceberg. Again, our special guest in the studio is Kevin Hellon. He is the CEO and president of Offstream. And, of course, we have Scott Page from the great Pink Floyd, Supertramp. You know all that. But today he is making big things happen in the music technology world, of course, with IES. We're going to go to a little break right now. This is some of the activity that you're going to prepare and enjoy at IES. That's August 7th through the 11th. Coming right back with the Road to Hollywood.
Hey, what up? This is Corey from Slipknot.
This is Matt Sorum from Velvet Revolver.
What's up? It's your boy Mac 10.
Hey, this is Mike Inez from Alice in Chains.
What's up? This is Be Real from Cypress Hill.
What's up? I'm Sean from Yellow Card.
It's your boy Warren G.
I'm Brooks Wackerman from Bad Religion.
Hey, yo, this is Method Man.
This is Mick Jones from Foreigner.
I got a question for you. Are you serious about moving your creative career forward? Then you need to be at IES.
If you're a musician out there, you got a band, you want to rock, don't sit down on your ass and wait for someone to knock on your door.
You can do it yourself. Don't wait for nobody. Do your thing, man. You know, life is short. You only live once.
Totally independent, and I love it.
Everything's important about the indie world. It has been for a long time.
You got more control, and you make 10 times as much money. 10 times more money.
Don't wait for the record label. Do it yourself.
People need to hear the music that's in your head, that's in your fingers, that's in your heart. So get out there and let's hear it.
Because of the internet and because of the greed of those old school executives at these record companies, the power is now in your hands, artists.
Take back your art and don't sell yourself cheap or short to anyone.
If you believe in your music, if you believe in your gift, if you believe what God has given you, make sure you go to IES, show the world what you got. It's going to be going down here in Los Angeles, and it's something that gets all you independent artists getting going on that drive, doing what you guys got to do, man.
Be independent. Don't be afraid to be independent.
You got to be a part of doing you first, and that means independence. I implore
you to go to the IES, the Independent Entertainment Summit, and do your thing.
If you think you know what you're doing in this music business, I don't care who you are, there are things you will learn.
The indie way is the way. You know, the large corporations have basically disintegrated. They're looking to the indie community to create the music and create the genesis of what's going to be the next environment.
If you started a new band and you're having a little bit of trouble figuring out where to go next or what you should be doing, who you should be talking to, whether you need a record label or how to get your music distributed, you need to go to the Indie Entertainment Summit. That's the place where you go to meet industry panel experts. They're going to tell you everything you need to know to get you where you want to be.
For me, I spend all of my days and months going around the world educating musicians on how they can better actually release their music and market their music. Part of my mission, it's part of the way that we can grow the music business. So I'm going to go at all the important summits that I can go to, and the Indie Entertainment Summit is going to be one of the places that I'll be. You want to be educated? You want me to help educate it? You better be there.
If you rap, sing, dance, model, DJ, or act, or like myself do comedy, you can't afford to miss this conference.
You're trying to do your thing in this business, and you're tired of waiting on somebody to help you. In August, come to LA, the Indie Entertainment Summit.
You know what time it is, man. It's that time, Rolex time. Chasing cash, get money, take care. Shout out to Hit Boy, G-Rock, Money Making Man, Stacy B, and Circa. And we here with the Indie Entertainment Summit, man. Y'all need to be here, man. It's in LA in August, man. Beautiful people here, man. Dropping knowledge, dropping gems about this new way to pursue this music and a new way to get this money, man.
It's the Indie Entertainment Summit. That's the IES, baby.
Very important place to be if you want information to take things to the next level. You may not have access to the internet. It's okay too. Go there. You have an opportunity, IES.
Write it, rap it, produce it, mix it, arrange it, rap it, sell it. That gives you the power.
Every second that you're sitting on your butt waiting for something good to happen, your competition is passing you by. So if you got a dream, go and fight for it and support Indie Entertainment Summit.
I need y'all to come out to my city and represent with the Entertainment Indie Summit. It's going down August 1st through the 5th. If you're an independent artist, you're an independent label, you want to get your music out there, you want to network, come out to Los Angeles.
All you gotta do is, if you want to blow up in this industry, go to IES conference in LA, Google it, you gotta be there.
Showcases, panels, opportunities, everything that Indie Entertainment Summit does is something that is very much for today's music industry. We know how it used to be, but we don't know how it's going to be tomorrow. But I think the Indie Entertainment Summit is going to be an opportunity for motivated, ambitious professionals to meet each other.
Music business is a hard thing to break into. So you gotta do what you can. Check out IES, Indie Entertainment Summit.
If you're gonna be anywhere, you need to be at IES, man, in LA, man. That's where it's gonna be at.
It's going down just like that, August 1st through the 5th. IES, man.
If you ain't going to IES, you ain't gonna live to be an artist. You know why? IES, feed your mind, feed your soul. Get a good lawyer. They'll teach you which way to go.
If you're serious about your music, where do they need to be?
You gotta be at IES, yo.
What's that?
Indie Entertainment Summit.
You should check it out at IES.com. Hopefully this will become an annual event that we'll all be going to many years from now.
You need to be out to IES. That's IES, baby.
Going down August 1st through the 5th.
You have to check out IES. IES, show the world what you got.
Ain't no excuses. It's now or never.
It's your chance to show the world what you've got.
IES. I hope I see you there.
Indie Entertainment Summit, man. Circa, we gonna be there.
Indie motherfucking Entertainment Summit. Be there, Jack.
IES. Look for it online. The Indie Entertainment Summit.
If you really think you got what it takes to stand out, you really want to make sure you stand out, you can show the world what you got at the IES, the Indie Entertainment Summit.
IES, it's going to be here in Los Angeles.
Entertainment capital of the world. If you ain't there, you're nowhere.
Hey, are you tired of those same old energy drinks with bad taste? Make a switch to Pitbull Energy Drink with a guaranteed no aftertaste. Pitbull offers more energy with ginseng and vitamins B6 and B12. With a ginger ale lemon lime flavor, Pitbull meets the consumer's demand for better tasting and healthier energy products with a guaranteed no aftertaste. Make a switch to Pitbull Energy Drink. Pitbull offers more energy with ginseng and vitamins B6 and B12. With a ginger ale lemon lime flavor, Pitbull meets the consumer's demand for better tasting and healthier energy products. For more information on Pitbull energy drinks, bars, and mixes, visit their website at hiphopbev.com. That's hiphopbev.com. Online orders available at hiphopbev.com.
Thank you so much. We're back to the road to Hollywood. Our special guest is Kevin Hellon. He is the CEO of Offstream. We have Scott Page, a major player in the industry right now. It's such an exciting time to be independent, own your own stuff. Not only are we seeing the Oscars, the Grammys, the most incredible, the number one album, the number one single. These are all independent artists just breaking through that barrier of what people said couldn't be done. So these days it's really, really important to surround yourself with great people, because if you can dream it and find some way to execute it and get that ball rolling, you possibly can make your dreams come true. And it's, I think, never more than ever evident.
Greatest time now.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So, Kevin, tell us a little bit, again, what you think some of the greatest opportunities are right now for independent artists to be able to hang on to that ownership, whether it be their movie or their TV concept or something. You always have to partner with people. You're going to be, no one ends up owning 100% or anything, but, why is it important for people to hang on to those rights as long as they can?
Leverage. One word. I'd say leverage. What you own, you can leverage. So you get out here, you build your own website, you get your own domain name, you have a really strong website, you have your fan base coming to the site, and you've engaged them, efficiently and continuously, then you're going to build your numbers up. Which in turn, you're building your brand up. Now that you have a brand, you can leverage that brand and go get sponsorships and get your music out there. Even if you gave away your music for free, like we had talked about before, Scott. I mean, that's an opportunity to enhance your fan base, and by having your fan base as big as you can have it, it puts you in a position to leverage that situation. Whether you want to go to a record label, which may be good for some people, but I mean, if you've already built out a fan base of about 1 million people, why would you go to a label when you just can get those same fans to commit to getting behind you and whatever property you put out, and then brands will get behind you. I mean, why go to a label and you're gonna have to split that brand with the 360 deal with them? You can just go directly to a Sprite and say, hey, Sprite, we're doing this event over here. We got I'm opening up for these particular artists. Would you be interested in being a sponsor of this event? Absolutely. You have this kind of fan base. Are they engaged regularly with you? Absolutely. Okay, they get behind you. They cut you a check. You're a paid artist. So I think the one word to answer that for me would be ownership equates to leverage.
Yeah. Let me ask a question based on that. Do you feel that it's easier now, because years ago it was very difficult to get to a major brand. Mm-hmm. What it seems like now is that they're trying to reach these audience that the indies have, because remember, it's all about niche. This is all niche marketing now. It's all about finding a niche, defining it very clearly, and knowing how to go after that niche.
Right.
And that's really critical for an artist, because if they just throw things out there, it's different than trying to figure out how to talk to that niche.
Right.
Do you feel that the advertiser are more open to the smaller artists that may not have a huge fan base, but would willing to sort of communicate? What do you think that the sponsor really needs in order to?
I'm gonna hit you with another one word: value.
Value.
Yeah, value. What value do you bring to the sponsor? Right. I mean, have you created a base already? Have you that's within their demographic? So if I'm looking for a certain demographic and my fan base is, let's say, 18 to 25, that demographic might appeal to like I said, Sprite or a Reebok or somebody like that. So it's value that you give to them, because they need you just as much as you need them,
right?
Because you've accumulated the fan base, you've made them loyal to who you are. So anything that you put out, your fan base is loyal to you. So if I'm rocking some Reeboks, then my fan base is gonna jump on board. Reebok is probably bad. I don't know who wears Reeboks, but let's say Nike. So they're gonna get involved with you because you bring value to them. Because you went out here and you kept that fan base alive. You kept them happy, and then anything that you're wearing or a part of, the brand is gonna get behind you on it.
Yeah, it's interesting because Jay and myself were on the way over here. We were just talking in the car. What's interesting is if you look at all the major artists right now, when you look at Beyonce, Jazzy, they all have these other businesses that are on there. They got clothing lines, they got fragrances, all that stuff.
Leveraging their brand.
But what the independent artist doesn't realize is they have those same opportunities now. Yeah. It may not be Christian Dior, but there are tons, thousands and thousands of things, of products that they can tie their brand to.
Well, I'll give you an example. I'm not going to use names here, but one of the artists that I currently manage, she has a 7-figure deal with a sponsorship and not one album out yet, but she's accumulated a fan base, and she was able to go and sit down with the sponsor, have a direct conversation with them, explain to them what our plans are and what we're trying to do with her career, and they're like, we'll get behind you. And I have the paperwork. It's a 7-figure deal. And this is an independent artist.
Yeah, because if what artists need to understand is the old model was, okay, I'm going to throw something out there and it goes out to 10 million people. Right. And the whole goal was to get maybe if you could get 1% to 2% to bite, that's a big deal. But if you have a concentrated community of serious loyal fans, you take that million down to a very small number. It's a very manageable number. So you have to think a little differently, because now it's all about inbound marketing and the idea of really building that relationship and having people that you can sell to, as opposed to people that don't even care about what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Well, it comes down to their leisure time too. People are listening to music, enjoying their entertainment in a different format, different way, all that now, and there's other ways for that advertiser. It used to be just prime time, network TV, and that was it. They'd spend these huge budgets, and now they're realizing that there's other avenues where people are actually congregating more and getting more involved than TV. And I think that's one of the big reasons why they're looking at all these niches. As long as they can reach people and engage with them and be the hip brand. Again, we saw Ciroc, couldn't wait to cut that check to be the official vodka of Sundance, and how many people are they actually reaching at Sundance? But it's that cachet of, okay, now we're reaching the independent filmmakers. Now it's going from music to this and sports. So I think it's really just about, finding those audiences. And like Kevin says, it's really wide open. As long as you can bring value to the table, that's what these corporations want. But too many people are looking for a shortcut. They simply just want to check, and these companies see that coming in. Like they don't have their stuff together. They haven't built out what that value represents. So that's not going to happen. The bigger the company, the more people that are knocking on their door every second of the day.
Yeah, it's called WIFM.
Yeah.
WIFM, what's in it for me?
Yeah, well, that's true.
Right? And if you can solve that problem when you go in, and you should think about that, the same thing about your fans. What problems, what benefits, what value can you add to them? What can you give them that will make them want to open that email every time it shows up? So it's really, right now, I'm so excited about this business. I'm so excited to be part of IES, because this is the time. If artists start to get educated about how to build business and how does marketing really work? It's not like, I'm going to throw something out there. It's like, how do I really connect and create value for somebody? They start to learn this, you're going to see the numbers and the dollars, because it can start rolling in quickly. It's like I was talking to Jay. I got a model that says you sign up, you do these things, Monday you get your first check. I guarantee it, 100%. You just have to adopt and understand how to use these models, and it's based on affiliates and things like that, because there's thousands, like I said, of great products that could be really good for your brand. Now, the key is you don't want to pick a product that's goofy, that's not good for your audience, and then they start thinking, oh, God, he's just trying to sell me some crap that I don't want to have, right? So it's really about matching up those brands of products, and you can go look at affiliate products. I don't know if people know what ClickBank is. ClickBank is a site that you can go to. There's tens of thousands of products. It's like a social network. People can go up and post a product, and they'll say, and you can look categories, thousands of categories, and they'll say, cut this little piece of code, drop it into your website. Every time somebody picks up and buys that thing, you can get from 30 to 70% of the revenue from that. Now, the key is you want to make sure that's a product that you really love that will add value to the customer, so you don't piss them off. So you got to be very careful. But the model is there. it can start happening. What's nice is ClickBank will manage all the back end, all the accounting and everything else that's going on. So there's so many ways that artists can drive revenue from their fan base that they're not using today, and they just need to get educated. Right. And we're going to teach them this stuff at IES, baby.
Well, again, there's so many opportunities, but again, there's not the easy way, the lazy guy's way, and all that. You can still keep dreaming on that one, but if you're really ready to apply your talents, your passions, your energy, you're just not going to kick back and expect to click your way to riches. You really got to, again, bring it.
It's the whole package. I mean, it's not any one thing. It's a variety of things, right?
There's no question. I mean, we're seeing entrepreneurs now that can really give their all, and instead of some old-fashioned, corporate environment, you can really earn what you're bringing to the table, and that's what's exciting for these artists. You get out there and really give great content. And that's another thing I want to mention is so many people, the artists, are now spending an inordinate amount of time on the social media and all this other stuff. It can dilute your creativity. There's no question. Oh, yeah. What you need to do is have incredible songs. You have to have a unique vision. You have to stand out. And some people may laugh at you. They may call you crazy. We're seeing stuff that CeeLo or Kanye does, and some of the weak people may laugh, but the fact of the matter is they've created their own zone, and they don't answer to anyone. So
yeah, and what's changed is that the business of music has changed, not the music has changed. At the end of the day, it's the exact same thing. You have to have great music, you have to appeal to an audience, and you have to be a great artist. I mean, CeeLo is a great example. Some people might think he's crazy and goofy. I mean, I knew him, back in the Goody Mob days, where he was a little more hardcore. Now he's wearing skirts and entertaining with the Muppets and stuff. But it's part of his brand, and it's expanded so much. But his music is still very, very much quality. So continue to keep great producers around you. Great writers have to have great music. But just understand that the business of it has evolved a lot more than the music.
I would like to throw one thing in that I do agree with that. But I think the opportunity has changed a little bit in the sense that if you have a great story, if you're a great storyteller and you have a way to do things, sometimes the music, if the story is, and it can be even a little bit not quite as strong. I mean, there's all kinds of hits from artists that come out and go, oh, it's like this thing, right? And maybe it's not that good, but that story of who you are, what you're doing, building that relationship, you can still monetize, like I said, a smaller audience and build a decent living. Because, I mean, I think this is the greatest heyday for, like I said, the independent artist to create a living, and more musicians today can now live, where they couldn't before. You either had to work in a gas station or you had a hit, and in between, you could make a little money in the clubs. But those days are, it's over. So it's really now, again, how do I use all this new technologies and this engagement and, bring the money in that way?
It's much easier now to make quality music than it has ever been.
Big time.
So when you get a CD, if I'm walking down Venice and the guys are trying to pitch me a CD and they took a burnt CD and they wrote their name on it, I mean, you don't have to do that. It's too easy. I mean, you got places like Vistaprint that are, dang near printed for free. I mean, do quality work and you'll be taking, a little more serious.
Yeah, quality is always key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, again, we're having an exciting discussion, state of the industry, opportunities, creativity meets high-tech, technology. It's just so much opportunities now. We're going to come back after this break, talk again. We have Kevin Hellon. He is the CEO and president of Offstring Entertainment, and we have the incredible Scott Page bringing the knowledge, bringing the creativity. Speaking of success stories, we're going to go top of this clip here. We're honoring Tech N9ne. He was the first artist that we brought into the IES Hip Hop Honors last year. He's doing incredible stuff. This year, you look at the release schedule of Strange Music. You see what this guy's doing with virtually no airplay. No big video play on mainstream press, no major mainstream, exposure. And the kind of numbers he's doing, he's selling millions independently. They grossed well over $20 million last year. And the amount of merchandise they're doing, how deep they've engaged in their audience is incredible. Yeah. They'll open up 2-3 hours early and let the fans in, and they're spending an average of $50 a head on merchandise. I mean, they're in some cases they're making $60,000, $80,000 before the first note of music is played. Yeah. So again, we're going to go into a clip with Indie Power. Again, your one-stop shop for all the promotion, marketing, distribution, everything you need. We're coming right back on the road to Hollywood.
be the one them call Tech 9.
What's up? It's your boy Mac 10.
What up, y'all? This Crazy Bone from Bone Thugs.
What's up? This is B-Real from Cypress Hill.
Hey, yo, this is Method Man.
It's your boy Warren G.
This is MC Light.
Yo, this is K-Solo for Indie Power, man. If it's inside of you, man, it's inside of the power, man.
DMX. And you better be checking out Indie Power, right?
What up, though? Indie Power.
One and only, IndiePower.com.
If you got any music out there and you're really trying to get in the game, make sure you check out Indie Power. They're going to make it happen for you.
So you see what this shirt says, right? It says Indie Power. Everybody that know anything about rap music and Tech 9 them, they know that Tech 9 got Indie Power. I'm the #1 independent artist in the country.
Totally independent, and I love it.
Everything's important about the indie world. It has been for a long time.
You got more control, and you make 10 times as much money. 10 times more money.
Because of the internet and because of the greed of those old school executives at these record companies, the power is now in your hands, artists.
Take back your art and don't sell yourself cheap or short to anyone.
Once you're independent, then you become interdependent, meaning you rely on yourself and then others wind up relying on you, and it's like the sun and the earth, everybody relying on each other, you know what I mean, building it up, a strong foundation. That's how Wu-Tang started, you do the same thing.
Don't wait for nobody. Do your thing, man. You know, life is short. You only live once.
You got to be a part of doing you first, and that means independence.
What's important is the business aspect of it, you know, because like you can never forget it's called the music business. You know what I'm saying? 90% is business, 10% is music. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to look at it like that, because if you don't, you'll be broke.
Get up off your ass. Don't sit there and wait around for the man to hand you this, hand you that. Anybody to hand you anything. This is Indie Power, baby. Do your thing.
I don't have anybody telling me you shouldn't write that song, Tech. That's gonna offend some people. We do this. We do our merchandise. We put our artists out when we wanna.
And that's why I chose to go the independent route, because you have more control, more say-so, more freedom to be an artist, you know, than dealing with a major. You know what I'm saying? I'm working with Indie Power right now, you know what I'm saying? Much love to them, you know what I'm saying? So y'all gonna start seeing a lot of the life entertainment, Crazy Bone, in your face all over worldwide. So, you know, y'all watch out for that, because it's going down. Indie Power representing the life entertainment.
You know you got the power. The power is in you. Make your music, do you. Don't let nobody tell you what you can or cannot do. Do you. Make your music. Enjoy what you do. Do it from the heart. Love what you do. Expand. Don't be afraid to create. Create. Be original. Make your music.
Do not wait on no majors. Go with Indie Power. That's what I did.
Keep your money, man. Your publishing, man. How you get paid, man. How you take care of your kids, man. How you put them through college, man.
Write it, rap it, produce it, mix it, arrange it, rap it, sell it. That gives you the power.
If your business is not moving forward, then you're moving backwards. You know what I'm saying? You need to have your business right, have it tight in the game, and then you'll know how your business will be running if you're dealing with Indie Power. Indie Power had you on the game, you know what I'm saying?
When it comes to putting it out there and getting it out there and getting that worldwide distribution, Indie Power is the way, Jack.
Indie Power, baby. Gotta move it to where you want to move it.
You have the right to do your music the way you want to do it. You've got the power. Indie Power.
Yeah, Indie Power, man. Go ahead, man. Get it on yourself. Self-promotion is the best promotion. All right?
It's about doing what you want to do, getting your music out there to the people, and not somebody dictating what the hell you doing. They want you to sound like Jay-Z. They want you to sound like Fabulous. They want you to sound like Ludacris. They want you to sound like Eminem. They want you to be a replica. No, that ain't how music elevates. Indie Power. It's hard to use your own money. Don't think it's easy, because your money can't compete with the majors. But if you believe in it, you will achieve it, and keep pushing. Keep pushing. Indie Power is the best you can do, baby.
All right, shout out to that Indie Power. You dig? We independent and standing strong in this biatch. Get with Indie Power.
You got the power. Indie Power. Indie Power, man. You already know. Infamous.
Indie Power, you already know what it is.
Indie Power, man. Check it out.
IndiePower.com. Put the power in your hands, you dig?
That's how we do it, you feel me?
That's it. The independent power. Again, the creativity meets technology, builds leverage. It's endless what can be done these days. And it seems like everything's moving in light speed because every day there's some record being shattered. There's somebody doing something that could never be done before or finding new ways to make it happen. And I think a lot of people get too caught up in the technology where they're always ahead of themselves or ahead of the curve. And I think the most important thing is to find that right balance. Old school, new media, artist development, technology. It's really still that combination. There's people coming up with some new startup today. You won't even hear about them again next year. So what's really key is, there's no shortcuts. It's really mixing a lot of this knowledge and connections with technology and ideas, and that's what I find it's real exciting today. And of course, companies like IndyPower are making the access to things that the majors used to try and control and monopolize. So it's a really exciting time, and we're here to celebrate IES. It's coming. It's August 7th through the 11th.
Hallelujah!
It'll be here before you know it. So again, go to the website, get registered, get your showcase, get all that lined up, because again, we have over 100 industry leaders coming down, giving freely of their trade secrets, their time. When you see people like Tech9, all his people, Violet Brown, Brian Shafton, all the people from RBC and Strange Music are going to be there. And you can better believe when we honor this year NWA, Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, MC Ren and DJ Yella, and of course the incredible tributes we're going to do while we induct Tupac, Nate Dogg, Eazy-E, and Pimp C. It's going to be legendary status. And then when we, on top of that, honor and have in the building Bone Thugs and Harmony, Cypress Hill, Snoop Dogg, and DJ Quick. It's going to be a night to remember. And again, more importantly, this is the celebration of independence that can really, rub off on you. A lot of these guys that we're celebrating many years ago had nothing going on, no connections, but had a dream, had an idea, and there were some people that stepped in, and that teamwork really created the legacies that we celebrate. And the IES Honor is not a corny award show. You can't buy your way on or anything. We're simply honoring the Trailblazers. We're just letting people know that these guys are acknowledged, and whether the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame doesn't vote them in, or they don't win the Grammy or the American Music Award, we're letting them know that in today's market they are as influential and important. In more cases, they last longer than your favorite pop star that's really huge today, and they're a footnote tomorrow. So again, our guests are Kevin Hellon. He is with Offstream Entertainment. We have Scott Page. Again, we're celebrating IES. Kevin, why do you think it's really important to, besides all you can learn online, really have a physical presence at an event like IES where you can really not only learn, be in the room and kind of assimilate so much of that knowledge, but be able to network with others and talk to a lot of these people that you could never get on the telephone otherwise?
Man, it's an insane opportunity. No matter where you're at, what location you're from, I think you have to get out here to IES because no matter whether it's LinkedIn or Facebook, you're not going to be able to connect one-on-one with these people, and to be able to have all these individuals in the same room and also speaking to you. These are people that are doing or have done what you're trying to do. So it's very important to talk to them. It's a mentorship opportunity to get involved. Just to be able to walk over, to an individual that's can take your career to another level. It's priceless. You can't get that anywhere. You can search all day on the internet and beg and plead for them to be your friend on Facebook, but that doesn't mean too much. Until you can walk over to them, have a real conversation with them, really get them on your team. And it's like I said, it's priceless, to be at an event like this.
Yeah, if you think about it, one of the most important things any artist is to feel inspired, right? I can tell you, I'm one of those guys that made every conference, did every gig when I could play for free gigs, whatever I could do. It always goes because you never know who's going to be in the room.
Right.
And what's nice is the thing that I loved about IES last year is the energy in the room was really powerful. And that alone made me want to go home. And wow, I got all excited personally about the whole thing. That you can't underestimate how important it is to keep yourself motivated. because it's hard. This is not a simple thing. It's not like one day you're going to walk out and go to the show and it's going to happen. But through that, if you're smart and you're wise, you can meet the right people, leverage those connections, and move yourself forward. But be around the energy that's actually happening in there. Where these are the movers and shakers that are there. So
and the education, I mean, is impeccable. I mean, man, to be able to, you might be working hard, building your fan base up, and you're still struggling with what are my next steps. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. You know, what am I doing wrong here? You go to an event and you sit back and you talk to, or you sit in a room full of speakers, and they give you that next step. I mean, you might not know it, you know, something kind of divine intervention that kind of happens, but you just need to be there. I mean, the only way that's going to happen is for you to be at IES in order to get that information and get that education, get you to the next step.
Or you may even know the next step, but it was told to you differently. So you get the aha moment.
Or by somebody that has no clue. So
that's it.
That was a lot,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what's so important is to hear the story of perseverance from a lot of these people that made it. You know, we talk about a Macklemore or Fun that just cleaned up at the Grammys, or Mumford & Sons, and you assume they're the best new artists, or they're new because you just heard about them. In a lot of cases, these guys have been around 5, 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of the success of Tech Nine.
Fun was 12 years, right?
I mean, Tech Nine had 2 major label deals. One that didn't even put his record out. The first one just threw it out there. And it wasn't until he, you know, dusted himself off, completely focused on winning fan by fan, city by city, stage by stage, that he actually created the legacy he is today. So I think so many people looking for the shortcut, when they come and see not only the people that are making this happen at the largest level, but the amount of perseverance, sacrifice, and dedication they have, I think that is truly inspiring and, you know, puts people on the right path.
Yeah, for sure. And then understanding, too, that independent isn't like a lot of people come in, they think that if you're going independent, you're like anti-label or something, or you're like some rebel without a cause. But what it really is, it's a good business model to go independent. And to go to a conference like IES, you can see people that are executing that business model, you know, effectively.
Absolutely.
So it's not about like, you know, ho hum, I'm independent. You know, it's all about the indies and F the majors. It's not about that. It's about, you know, you got to go with the best business model for your career. You know, a lot of us have families that we're trying to, you know, build out something, you know, special for them. So going independent is a very good business model, rather than just a rebellious movement, you know.
Absolutely.
Well, that's one of the big things we say, is because even if your goal is to try and get one of these large corporations to get behind you, you're still going to have to go out there and prove yourself independently.
Yeah.
The A&R guys at the couple major labels that are left have no signing power whatsoever until they get their boss's boss to sign off on it, which is usually the president of the company. They really have no opportunity or no juice. So it's not like you can, you know, jump frog over, you know, proving yourself. You've got to do that no matter what. But in the case of, again, Macklemore, Mac Miller, Tech Nine, all these guys that literally have multi-million-dollar contracts and proposed checks thrown at them, they are looking at the big picture rather than that short term. Do I sell out and grab the check? Well, there's no company on a planet that wants to overpay for anything. So there's no way they're going to give you what you're worth.
Right.
They're going to try and buy that asset for as little as they can and have it on their asset sheet. And again, takes you completely out of the game. You have no control, no ownership of what you're doing, and with the 360 deal, really takes all that leverage away.
Right.
We're talking about independence. We're talking about leverage. Again, it's a real exciting time. Scott, why don't you talk a little bit about, again, these days, how, again, a very small core of fans can now get the word out exponentially and start growing that fan base.
Yeah, I mean, really, the key to any of these being an artist today is really about building a team. And the team can start from, the first place to look is within. You know, look at the band. Who's in the band? Who are the guys in the band? The second thing is that next tier that are your super fans, what I'll call them. You know, the ones, your friends and stuff that show up at everything. They wear the shirts. They'll be there to help. You have to learn how to sort of, what I'll use the word task in a nice way. Right. I'm not saying you're going to tell them, but you need to bring them into a business model that says that you can use to help them. Because, you know, I always talk about this, the concept of 1,000 true fans. And I think this is what Jay is alluding to. The idea that if you have 1,000 fans, a true fan is somebody that will spend $100 a year. If I have 1,000 of those, it's $100,000 a year. That, for a lot of artists to get started, is something that can really get your business starting to roll because you can dump that money back into it. So again, it comes down to not so much the massive amounts of fans, it's the quality of the fans and the relationship you have. And that will be more important to the sponsors. It's going to be important to if you decide to go record label wise, because when you were talking about it, yeah, you may decide to go with a label later, but if you build out your community and you have access and you build it, you're going to have much more strength going in to negotiate that deal. Am I giving up all my masters? Have they taken all my publishing? If I've got enough going on, I can have some negotiating power to be able to make it happen.
Yeah.
So, it's really very fascinating. It's really about quality of relationships. The whole bit, thinking about it, what business, every business I've ever been, it's always about the relationships, the quality of the relationship. Somebody says, what's in a name? And you say priority. If you have the right people around you. I myself, as a business person, always looked to find those people that could bring the cachet that would lift my game up, right? So instead of trying to go out and power down, like hit every door on the street, I tried to identify those that I related to well that would actually bring the right kind of clout to what I'm doing. Because if I just get that one guy, I can get one guy and everything changes. And I can tell you my one business, I brought in a gentleman, and I won't get into the name, that one guy, everything changed the next day. Because I was able to get him to believe in what I was doing. And it wasn't so much myself. Once he tagged on to what I was about and what I was trying to do, the whole world opened up. So it's not about pounding a million doors. It's about being smart about where you're going and really trying to find those key people that can really help you out. But that means you have to do a little research, you have to understand, and you have to look at knowledge. Knowledge is key. Learning and education. Artists need to educate themselves right now on business. It's a business. You're in a business now.
Yeah.
Well, again, there's still no excuse. I mean, just because you're an artist doesn't mean that we're going to feel sympathy for when you say you got a bad deal. You've got to educate yourself, surround yourself with people you trust that you can really get down and not have to worry every day their intentions. But like you say, going deep is really what it's about. And that's another thing about IES is having seen all these conferences, and I've spoken at over 600 of them over the years, they usually put 8 or 9 people on a panel, at least 6. They spend half the panel time just introducing everybody. The other half, let's take one question down the row. Hey, my gosh, it's time to go. You know, I mean, we're talking about going deep. We're talking about having individuals like we have on this show going deep for an hour and a half on every subject of every social media, giving live performances, creating your image and brand in videos and photography, really how to not only get interviews, but how to give an interview. We see these red carpets and hundreds of people go down the red carpet. Guess what? When they show the evening news, bam, a couple sound bites. If you're not one of the most intelligent or articulate or most interesting person, you're going to be on the cutting room floor. You're wasting all your time doing the interview because they're going to go with who they think are the most interesting. Entertainment Tonight, extra. Everybody's got short attention spans. You're lucky to get a couple seconds on there. So again, that's what we do at IS is go deep. And again, with relationships, again, it's kind of like we call it planting seeds when we go out there and survey, and you never know whether it's a relationship with someone or a company or an artist. You're planting those seeds, but what you do by fertilizing it and nurturing and growing that. One instance, it can be a weed. The other instance, all of a sudden, you grow to orange grove. And now you can harvest every year, and everybody's eating off that nurturing that you did. But just by skimming the surface, thinking that tomorrow you're going to have some roots that's going to carry over, that's the real problem. I mean, in the past, artists like Prince or Bruce Springsteen, it took them 4 albums to break. These days, the major labels wouldn't give you 4 months before they kill you off. Now you're damaged goods. You've broken up. You're an indie success story. You grab that one check. Now the check's all gone. You owe these guys millions. Now music is no longer fun. In a lot of cases, you're on the shelf. Your A&R guy just got fired. Your manager quit. There's dissension within your band. Next thing you know, what went to be a really creative entrepreneurial spirit, a all-for-one, one-for-all spirit, is now become where you can't sleep at night. And your career, everybody thought you were going to be rich and famous, and you're unemployed. You can't even get off the label because they own all your rights. So
that's when it gets really
we're talking
ugly,
about independence and leverage. Again, our guest is Kevin Hellon. He is an amazing spirit and entrepreneur. He's going to be a part of IES this year. You got to check it out. It's August 7th through the 11th. It's right here in the NoHo Arts District. If you're not from LA, it's right over there by Universal Studios, right at the end of the subway. The subway in LA ends right there at IES. So one stop from there at the night, you can go to Universal Studios City Walk. 2 stops, you're at Hollywood and Highland. That's like Times Square now in Southern California. And we've got amazing concerts, showcases, awards, honors. Again, we told you about the hip-hop honors. The rock honors are going to be incredible this year. On next show, we'll break down all the incredible people that we're inducting on the rock side. But again, it's getting rid of all those little labels and barriers and taking creativity, giving the people what they want, and in a lot of cases, taking them where they've never gone before. Yeah. And I think that's what's really exciting. We've got to wrap up right now. We're going to hear from some more of the attendees at IES. But Kevin, it's been a real pleasure. We can't wait to have you on future shows in IES. In parting, what one sentence of advice would you give to people today to really move themselves forward?
That's besides going to IES.
Right. Understand that no matter how creative you are still a business. And if you are a very strong creative force, bring great business people around you. They're all around. We love helping. We love to be a part of you. So make sure you understand that you're a business.
Yeah, great advice.
Well, Kevin, we thank you so much for coming down.
Thanks, guys.
You, the viewer, you mean a lot to us. So wherever you are in the country or the world, please check us out online, iesfest.com. Get with us. The telephone number's on the promos, 818-505-9537. Again, thank you so much, Scott Page, coming down. Again, we're going to go behind the scenes at IES last year, talk to some of the actual attendees that came in from all over the country, all over the world, and what they got out of it. So again, this is the Road to Hollywood. We can't wait for you to join us next week. Thanks so much.
Hey, how you doing? It's K-Rob Singer, IES, representing. It was unbelievable. A lot of information, a lot of great information. You can't buy this stuff, so, it was great. A lot of performances, had a lot of shows. It's pretty good.
Yeah, this is Flow Rocker, man. Flow Style Entertainment. IES Fest was the best fest that you're going to get, man. I mean, not to knock any of them other summits, man, but this is a place to be at, man. I mean, great legends came out, man, from all kind of guys. Chino XL, Spice One performed. Some of the biggest names in the industry. We had some of the biggest industry heads watching over all the new talent, and this is the place you want to go if you're trying to get on, man, or get your stuff out there. So come here to IES, man. Look at it, check it out, man, on the internet. You know what I mean? This is the place to be, man. If you ain't here, you ain't gonna get there. Believe that.
How y'all doing today? My name is D Cross. I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm here to tell y'all should definitely come to the IES Awards. This shit was crazy. We seen goddamn hip-hop legends. Hip-hop legends, you know what I mean? From Alcoholics, you know what I mean? For the best, we had Tech Nine on the Skype, Ice-T. It was real big. It was real crazy. You guys need to make sure you come out here next year. Call my man Jay. He gave me personal one-on-one interviews with
man. I mean, not to knock any of them other summits, man, but this is a place to be at, man. I mean, great legends came out, man, from all kind of guys. Chino XL, Spice One performed. Some of the biggest names in the industry. We had some of the biggest industry heads watching over all the new talent, and this is the place you want to go if you're trying to get on, man, or get your stuff out there. So come here to IES, man. Look at it, check it out, man, on the internet. You know what I mean? This is the place to be, man. If you ain't here, you ain't gonna get there. Believe that.
How y'all doing today? My name is D Cross. I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm here to tell y'all should definitely come to the IES Awards. This shit was crazy. We seen goddamn hip-hop legends. Hip-hop legends, you know what I mean? From Alcoholics, you know what I mean? For the best, we had Tech Nine on the Skype, Ice-T. It was real big. It was real crazy. You guys need to make sure you come out here next year. Call my man Jay. He gave me personal one-on-one interviews with major record labels, radio stations, TV shows. We had some amazing rock bands. If you think you got talent, this is where you need to be. Ain't nothing better than IES. D Cross, Las Vegas, Nevada.
What's poppin'? It's G-Knock, aka Gino Cardinal, down here at the IES Power Summit. If you're not here, why you wasn't here? It's been poppin'. Nothing but legends, hit makers, beat makers, platinum artists, gold artists, artists from all over is making it happen. Don't be lazy. Get your grind on. Indie Power will make it happen, can make it happen. Indie Power is power. And you want power, don't be powerless. Stop sitting on the couch, stop standing in the mirror, get up out, get your grind on, get your hustle on, do what you love to do, get paid off of what you love to do. It's G-Knock, that's right. Indie Power, IES, hook up with my man JW, do it big, go beyond. Peace.
Yeah, it's your boy Randy Boston checking in, Cold Crush Music Group, Flavor Collection. I'm out here at the IES event, the Indie Entertainment Summit Live 2012. Yo, if you wasn't here this year, you need to try to make it next year. There was a lot of experience here. The panels was great. I've been to several music conferences. They have old, washed up people that's not even relevant in the game, in the industry, come up here and talk like they know what's going on. We had real people here talking about real things. I learned a lot of stuff myself, how to grow as an artist, management, you know, learning how to perfect my craft, being a better artist, promoter, everything. So you missed out. Also saw some legends here, man. We was on the stage with Spice One. We had the Alcoholics here, you know, straight legends, man, and they was in here dropping game, letting artists know you can make it as an independent artist. So don't ever lose hope. Need to holler at my man J2. Pow.
My name is Lonnie Dangerous. I'm just a tip on iTunes and CD Baby. I'm here at IES. First time, greatest experience ever, and it's only the second day. Spice One came down, Tech 9 Skyped, the Alcoholics were there, Violet Brown was here. It's the craziest thing ever. If you're on the outside of the music industry, the way to rub elbows with everyone in the inside of the industry is get down with IES. Big things. Deal with it.